Всем доброго времени суток. Решил я, значит, сегодня начать играть в игру Ворон. Давно очень в нее хотел поиграть. Когда-то даже начинал, но потом забросил. А сейчас обновил звук и решил снова начать в нее играть. Думаю, в этот раз точно пройду ее до конца. Надеюсь, вам будет интересно вместе со мной ее проходить и наблюдать. Коротко расскажу об игре. Суть состоит в том, что мы находимся в Лондоне 1964 года, где объявился какой-то подражатель, либо вор, который ранее был известен как Ворон, и начал грабить банки. Мы, соответственно, за главного героя, который читал про этого вора в книжках, будем играть и расследовать все его преступления, которые он будет совершать по ходу игры. Не буду читать субтитры, которые там будут на русском, чтобы вы могли сами подключаться и читать, и втягиваться в игру. Либо чтобы вы могли слушать то, что говорят главные герои на английском, если вы хорошо знаете английский. Я, к сожалению, не очень. Вот. И, соответственно, надеюсь, все будет нормально. Включу музыку. Надеюсь, она будет не сильно громкой и не будет мешать. Собственно, сразу начинаю главную игру. Все сначала. И поехали. Как-то кажется, что громковато.
The Raven's heir. Soon as one of them's caught, another one takes his place. Hey, Harold, have you read this? Harold? Harold?
Типичный охранник из пятерочки.
Harold, you hear me? This is no time for fun and games.
Shh! Calm down. I'm a copper. We're on the same side.
A copper? What are you doing here? And where's Harold?
Harold? Well, there's another guard back there unconscious. That's probably him. The Eye of the Sphinx. Where is it?
It's there.
Oh, good. Then he hasn't got it yet.
You mean the Raven's heir?
Shh! Turn it off. He's gonna steal the eye.
But how do you know?
Doesn't matter. All that matters is that we catch him. Do you understand?
Yeah, but
Do you understand? You and me, mate, we'll be heroes. All right, now, we just have to...
what?
Halt! Stop! You're under arrest!
Не знаю, мне всегда нравились игры и фильмы, где интересный сюжет, есть какая-то загадка. Собственно, вот начинается игра, мы будем ехать в поезде Соответственно, там будет происходить первая часть вся. Графика довольно-таки красивая, приятная. Только по музыке непонятно, как там громковато. Небольшой такой спойлер, это вот писательница была и ее помощница.
Hands up!
I don't have time to play.
Вот, собственно, главный герой.
You're funny, but you don't look like a real cop. You don't even have a revolver.
What's your name, boy?
My name is Matthew Miller,
And where are you from, Matthew Miller?
from Dillsburg, Pennsylvania. But my mom and I live in England now. She's taking care of some rich old lady. We're on our way to Venice at the moment. We're taking a cruise on a big ship.
Impressive. You've already seen half the world. I've spent my entire life in Switzerland.
Must be really boring.
Собственно, тут надо будет выбирать варианты ответа все время.
And what's with the gun? What do you need it for?
It's the Raven. He was gunned down, so now I need a pistol.
Dead birds don't need guns. Nor do live ones.
You don't know who the Raven is, do you? He's the greatest burglar ever. He stole paintings from the Louvre and those priceless eggs with gold and diamonds and stuff. And Bobby Dobbs says he replaced the crown jewels with rhinestones.
I know who the Raven was. Although I don't quite buy that bit about the crown jewels. You do know these days there are thieves far more dangerous than your old Raven. 2 days ago, a precious ruby was stolen from the British Museum. There was an explosion. A guard was severely injured.
Really?
Yeah. And you know what the papers say?
You talk too much, Constable.
Zellner, monsieur. Anton Jakob Zellner.
Or did he pull a gun on you?
No, monsieur.
Get a move on.
Хороший полицейский, плохой полицейский.
Inspector Legrand, it's a great honor to work with a celebrity like you.
We appreciate the support of the Swiss police, but it'd be better if you'd remain seated and keep an eye on things.
But, monsieur, surely I can be of assistance, somehow. I saw a safe being loaded.
We have everything under control. If you'll excuse me, I'll be in the first freight car at the back of the train for the rest of the trip.
I'm not here to enjoy the beautiful scenery. I am a good observer, and I have finally honed powers of deduction.
Thanks to that?
I watched the people on the platform in Zurich. I know, for example, that man over there is a violinist.
That would be more impressive if there weren't a violin case next to him.
And I believe that the gentleman in the next carriage is a German doctor on his way to Italy to take up a new position.
And what gives you that idea?
There's the rod of Asclepius engraved on his cufflink. And he's carrying a German-Italian dictionary.
Maybe he's just taking a holiday in Italy, following in Goethe's footsteps.
Too much luggage. And no, he's not retiring to Italy either. The suitcases are too shabby for me to believe that he can afford to retire in his late 50s.
All right then, Constable...
Zellner.
Constable Zellner. If you're such a clever fellow, what am I doing on this train?
I think you're guarding something.
Oh, really? And what might it be?
I really couldn't say. But it must be very important.
Why is that?
Because you are very important. They wouldn't have assigned the case to you if it were just a trifle.
Let's assume that we really are transporting something very important on this train. And let's assume that it really is my job to see that it arrives safely. Then why isn't the train crawling with police?
It's a trap.
You've got a vivid imagination. I'll give you that. Well, that is impressive, I admit. But the fewer people involved, the better. We'll get along fine without you.
You won't.
Won't? Pardonnez-moi.
I can help. And I will help. You're in my country. And I've been ordered to assist you. And that's exactly what I'll do. Whether you like it or not.
Clever and stubborn. Your commitment speaks volumes, Zellner. But this is my show, and I don't need you. Bon voyage.
But how do you know?
На самом деле упертый такой констебль.
Oh, hello.
You cheated.
I did what?
I saw you talking to the German doctor on the platform. He told you everything himself, and you were just pretending to put two and two together.
And what of it? Do you know who that is? That's Inspector Nicholas Legrand. You have to impress him if you want to work with him.
I'm going to tell on you.
You'd really tell on me? To the very policeman who shot your dear Raven?
Whoa, it was him?
Mm-hmm. Hunted and killed Europe's most famous burglar. That's how he got his start.
I won't tell him a thing.
I wouldn't either. All right, Matthew. I have to do my work now.
Everyone calls me Matt. Well, except for my mom. She calls me Maddie, as if I were a little kid.
Whether Legrand wants my help or not, I'll keep my eyes open. Maybe I can change his mind.
Хочешь ли ты ознакомиться с управлением игры? Нет, я не хочу. Я, в принципе, когда-то начинал, поэтому я помню. Ну и будем разбираться по ходу, если что. А тут очень важно присматриваться к деталям. Потому что управление...
The Vicarage in the Mirror. A detective novel by my favorite author, Lady Clarissa Westmacott. For years now, I've been trying to convince my theater group to stage one of her plays. I'll leave it there. I'll pick it up before I get off.
Управление вот таким образом осуществляется не совсем удобно, как по мне.
The violinist is a good-looking fellow. And he's traveling through the most beautiful mountain landscape in the world. But one can only hope that his violin is better tuned than he. Hello, sir.
Hello.
If I'm not mistaken, you're a violinist.
That's true.
A wonderful instrument. The violin music touches the soul.
That's why I learned to play it.
Do you play in an orchestra?
No, orchestras aren't really part of my world.
A solo violinist. The best soloists travel a great deal and make a pile of money, or so they say.
In that case, I'm probably not one of the best.
Мутный тип.
Are you traveling to Istanbul non-stop?
No. I'll transfer in Venice to a ship. I'm on my way to Cairo.
Cairo?
I'm performing at the reception in the Egyptian museum there.
I'm sure your recital will be a great success. But tell me, did you notice anything unusual on the train?
Anything unusual?
Persons acting suspiciously, for instance.
For heaven's sake, is there cause for concern?
Everything is in order, sir. We Swiss are just very cautious people.
I understand. No, I didn't notice anything.
Have a good trip.
Thank you.
Идем дальше.
Very kind of you. Thanks. Oh, pardon me.
No problem. The uniform is waterproof. Mr.
Lucien. Professor Edgar Lucien.
Oh, a professor. Are you a scientist? Do you teach at the Sorbonne?
No, I work at the British Museum in London.
You don't say. So, you were, shall we say, an eyewitness to the burglary 2 days ago?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Oh, no?
Well, there was a lot of commotion, but I didn't really pay much attention to it.
There was a break-in in your museum, and it didn't concern you?
Well, let's just say that nothing that's happened in the last 2,000 years concerns me.
May I ask where you are going?
Of course. To Venice. I'm going to meet some colleagues there.
Oh, Venice. A beautiful city, or so I'm told.
Indeed. But I really have to take my leave now.
Just one more thing. Did you notice anything unusual on the train?
Here? On the train? No. I can't say that I have. Although I did spend most of the time in my compartment.
I don't want to take up any more of your valuable time, but you do understand, don't you, that what concerns me is the present, and especially the robbery at the museum.
Yeah, of course, of course. It's just, I'm in rather a hurry.
You'll get in touch if you notice anything unusual, won't you, Professor?
Of course, Constable. What's this?
What's the matter, sir?
The door. I can't open it.
Ah, we'll sort it out somehow. The compartment is locked.
But I didn't lock it. I don't even have a key. I asked the steward. He was going to bring me one, but he never came back.
Someone locked it.
Find the steward. He needs to bring me the key immediately.
Calm down, Professor. I'll see what I can do.
You don't understand. I have to get back in my compartment.
All right, just wait here.
Какие-то они все нервные. Собственно, в таком ключе вся игра будет.
I don't believe it. I never thought I'd ever meet you.
Pardon me, but we'd prefer...
It's all right, Miss Miller. I'd like to speak to the inspector.
Unfortunately, just a constable, Lady Westmacott. I'm reading The Vicarage in the Mirror right now, for the 5th time at least.
That's nice, Constable...
Zellner. Anton Jakob Zellner.
This is my companion, Miss Miller.
A pleasure. May I ask what you're doing here? Are you on holiday?
Holiday? Yes, so to speak. The first and last holiday of my life.
Madam?
I've been writing since I was a little girl. It became my job, and now I've stopped. So, this must be a holiday.
You quit writing? Impossible. I have all of your books. Your Detective Partout is my favorite character.
Then I have bad news for you. I killed the old wretch off years ago.
I don't understand.
I'd rather not discuss my work, Constable.
Oh, well, fine. As much as I'd like to keep talking, duty calls.
You were right.
Madam?
I did observe you as you came in. You seemed so... eager.
It's been a long time since I've had a chance to prove myself, madam.
And this is it? Your chance?
I do hope so.
Then grab it. Even small people can make big changes. as my friend Ronald likes to say.
I shall do my best.
Очень интересно будет, если этот
The
писательница,
steward
которая
must have forgotten
написала
the toothpicks. Normally he would offer them discreetly after dinner.
книжку про Ворона. Наверное. Это не точно. Будет интересно, если раньше это она была грабителем, а теперь это вот ее
I've
помощница.
loved them
Ну,
since.
это
Their only
моя
drawback,
теория.
they don't play nice with false teeth.
Вдруг в голову всплыла.
I suppose the steward won't object to me having a look around in his absence. Perhaps he keeps the compartment keys in there. Locked. Where could he be? The steward probably uses the scissors on hard-to-open packages. These days, nearly everything is sealed up tight. A colleague recently told me about dry powdered soup in small bags. I could... The pad on which the steward writes orders, empty. Maybe he didn't use it because there's not much to do today. I don't need the pad, but the pencil might come in handy. The drawer is locked, and the steward... A shortwave radio. It's amazing how small these things have become in the last 10 years.
Так, ну, собственно, тут больше ничего нету.
Mr.
Zellner.
Right, right. How can I help you?
Do you know where the conductor is?
I'd like to know that myself. I told him to search for my missing suitcase in Zurich. He hasn't got back to me yet. He's probably in cahoots with the thieves and didn't bother getting back on the train. If we don't crack down on vermin like them, the rabble will rule the world one day.
Well, at the moment, we still don't know what really happened.
He is not here doing his job. That's bad enough.
Tell me, did you notice anything suspicious here on the train or in Zurich?
You mean, except for the fact that my suitcase was stolen on the platform? No. Is there any reason to be concerned?
No, just routine.
Constable Zellner, please don't think I'm naive. I spotted the inspector from Interpol. Legarde is his name, if I recall correctly.
Legrand.
If you say so. At the train station in Zurich, he put a cash box into the safe, and then kept close watch as it was loaded onto the train. Don't tell me that a man at his pay grade routinely tramps across the Alps just to keep an eye on cash boxes.
A cash box? Like the ones you'd find in safe deposit boxes?
Precisely. And I believe we both have a good idea just what's inside.
I do indeed have a theory, but what's yours?
A ruby was stolen in London. One of the legendary Eyes of the Sphinx. The second jewel, an emerald, is rumored to be in a Swiss bank vault, if I remember correctly. Both jewels were supposed to be exhibited together in Cairo for the first time in 50 years. It does make one wonder.
Indeed. Any news about the robbery in London?
Quite something, wasn't it? It must have been professionals. The way they disabled one of the best security systems in the world. Most impressive.
People were injured.
Well, one cannot execute a robbery of that scale without collateral damage. It seems like the Raven has finally found a worthy successor. We can look forward to new and spectacular coups.
I'm afraid I won't enjoy his exploits this time around if the new Raven is so reckless.
That's your prerogative.
Auf Wiedersehen, Dr. Gebhardt.
Goodbye, Constable. It was a pleasant chat, really.
Очень интересно то, что про этого Ворона как бы был взломщиком и вором. Но про него говорят как про какого-то героя.
A
Интересно.
box with a padlock. I suppose it contains tools for the train's crew, maybe for coupling and uncoupling the cars. At any rate, it's positioned so that it's easier to reach from the ground than from up here. Locked.
Bang, bang!
Huh?
Don't move.
Matt, have you gone mad?
I'll shoot. Hey, my pistol.
You'll get it back in Venice. I could have fallen under the wheels.
I thought you were a ghost.
Ghosts don't exist.
They do too. One just flew past the window.
Yes, sure. Now get moving.
Oh, man.
Кто-то там шастает.
I strongly suspect that the door is locked. No, it's open. Hello? Wow.
Don't move a muscle, you feathered fiend.
Put the gun down, Robert. If I may introduce Constable Robert Oliver from the yard. And this is the revered Constable Zellner of the Swiss police, who obviously couldn't control his curiosity.
Then I was right. You really do want to lure someone into a trap.
That's none of your business.
Perhaps that someone recently struck in London.
And how would I bait my trap then?
With an eye? An eye on its way from Zurich to Cairo?
Someone has done his homework. Well done, Constable.
I hope you'll acknowledge that I, as a Swiss policeman, can undertake investigations in my own country.
Are we still in Switzerland?
I could be your eyes on the train as long as you're here in the freight car.
Oh, really?
There is a certain Professor Lucien on the train. He's an archaeologist from London.
And what's his story?
Well, it seems someone locked him out of his compartment.
Locked him out?
Well, yes. The door is locked and he's standing outside without a key.
Was it locked from inside?
It may have been. Do you think the locked door could be important?
Professor Lucien plays an important role in this story. Well then, Constable Zellner, be my eyes and ears on the train and see that Professor Lucien gets back into his compartment. Report back to me when you're through.
My pleasure, monsieur. What do you know of this Raven's heir?
He tried to blow me up.
Robert, we don't know who we're dealing with yet.
In any event, the new Raven is a more dangerous man than the old one.
How do you know it's a man? It could just as easily be a woman.
Or several men.
And anyway, how do you know that it's a new Raven?
Monsieur?
Never mind.
I go attend to the door now.
Good. And, Constable Zellner?
Yes?
Don't bother us unless you have something new to report.
Of course. A thief might get anxious if there's too much activity in the freight car.
Exactement. Knock twice. Then we'll know that it's you.
Understood. An investigation on behalf of Legrand that takes me one step closer. In fact, the ladder leads up to the roof. It will be the wind.
Будет неудивительно, если они потеряют то, что в сейфе там находится.
Oh, Constable?
Yes, ma'am.
My son didn't make any trouble for you, I hope. It's just that he just walked past us, silent and seething. That's usually a sign that someone's laid down the law.
I'm afraid so. He played a trick on me, a rather dangerous one. The lad left me no choice but to take away his wooden pistol as a punishment.
I understand. And thank you. Matty is a very lively child. Sometimes he needs a strong fatherly hand.
Where is Matt's father, if I may ask?
He's gone.
Ah. I understand.
Could you, leave Maddie's pistol here, perhaps? So you don't have to bother with it?
Of course. I told him he wouldn't get it back until Venice.
Very well. Thank you again, Constable.
Тут, в принципе, больше не на что смотреть, по идее. Поэтому пойдем дальше. И до сих пор там что-то пытается сделать.
The little label on the door reads Baroness von Trebitz. Blue blood on the Orient Express. He doesn't make a very balanced impression. And he, of all people, isn't bothered by a robbery in his own museum.
Давайте постучим. Baroness.
Yes, what is it?
Whoever that is, James, ask them whether they found my purse and then closed the door. The noise on this train is driving me crazy.
You're missing a purse. Was it stolen?
At the very least, I cannot find it, sir.
It was stolen.
When did you... When was the
бабка.
last time the Baroness saw her purse?
What?
In Zurich, on the platform, sir.
I just asked where you last saw your purse.
In Zurich on the platform. James, tell him that I still had it when I got out to stretch my legs.
The Baroness says...
Maybe you lost it there.
What?
The Baroness never loses anything, sir.
I never lose anything.
Very well then. I shall be on the lookout for your purse. If I might ask you a few questions about your fellow passengers.
I thought he was looking for my purse. James, tell him to look for my purse.
The Baroness wishes that you search for her purse.
But couldn't we perhaps... All right. First, the purse. I will have a look around.
Thank you, sir.
Ворчливая бабка.
Professor Lucien?
Yes? Do you have the key?
Actually, I wanted...
Please. I have to go back to my compartment.
Что у меня тут есть? Таблетки. Кошелек. Это мой кошелек. Нужно
Hello,
помириться
Matt.
с пацаненком. А как с ним помириться, если он рыжий?
Come on. Are you going to be angry with me for the rest of the trip?
Until I
Sorry,
get my
Courage.
pistol back.
I gave it to your mother.
Oh man, couldn't you have just raked me over the coals?
Would you have learned anything from that?
I didn't learn anything from this either.
Come on, Matt. Did you really think that you can ignore me for longer than I can ignore you? I'm Swiss. It's practically a national sport. Should I ask for an autograph? That would be quite unprofessional. But on the other hand...
Собственно, тут больше некуда идти, я так понимаю. Потом вернусь к ней. Я хочу пройти сюда и попробовать открыть тут, может, что-нибудь.
I need a bit of wire or something like that to pick the lock.
А, вспомнил.
Mrs. Miller made a good impression. She wanted to protect Lady Westmacott from me, a pushy admirer. Very diligent. But she does seem a little nervous and tense. I imagine she has her work cut out for her with Matt. And a difficult boss, from what they say. Mrs. Miller?
Yes?
Did you notice anything unusual on the train?
Oh, I'm afraid not. I was totally focused on my work.
She's always got an awful lot to do, my Mary.
You have to tell me if that's not all right with you.
Good Lord, child. Knit as much as you want.
So, nothing out of the ordinary?
No, Constable.
A passenger's purse has gone missing. I suppose you haven't seen it.
Sorry, no.
Nor have I.
Have you asked my little boy? Maddie is good at finding things.
I haven't asked him yet, but I will. Goodbye, Mrs. Miller.
Goodbye, Constable.
Даже чай видно как
An extraordinary woman.
горячий.
Talented, intellectual, extremely rich, and the most successful writer of all time. Yet, they say she can be difficult on occasion, and that she's rather unhappy.
Давайте поговорим.
I think it's uncomfortable for her when I talk to her in front of Lady Westmacott. She seems to take it as an inappropriate distraction from her work, although she's just knitting. Taking up a craft like that is typical of women who were told as little girls that idleness is a sin. I think it's uncomfortable for her when I talk, although she's just knitting. I think it's uncomfortable, although she's just knitting. Taking up a craft like that is typical.
Не совсем понятно. Окей. Пойдем с сыном поговорим.
Matt is digging in his heels. I won't get anything out of him as long as he's angry with me. Would you like a butterscotch?
You think you can bribe me?
I have no reason to. You made trouble and got punished for it. Take it as a peace offering.
Just 4?
If I'm faster than you, there'll only be 3.
Hey!
Friends again?
Mm-hmm.
All right then. And no dangerous nonsense anymore.
Okay.
Давай поговорим.
Your mother is Lady Westmacott's companion, correct?
Yeah, but it's not like you think. At first I thought, boy, you must be really wicked if you need to pay for friends. But the lady's really okay. A bit odd and really old. But other than that, she's great. She likes me.
The lady has peculiar taste.
Hey!
You and your mother, do you both live on Lady Westmacott's estate?
I'm only there for the holidays. Most of the time I'm at boarding school.
I imagine that's not very pleasant.
No, it's fine. I have friends there. You always have to be so quiet in the lady's house. And I'm not allowed to bring any friends.
Such a big house with so many places to hide and no one to play hide and seek with.
You said it.
How old are you, Matt?
In 8 months, I'll be 9 years old.
And do you already know what you want to be when you grow up? A burglar?
No. We'll see. Maybe an actor.
Really? Well, I don't know. You need a lot of talent for that. I'm an actor in a theater group, you know?
You are?
Oh, yes. And I'm one of the best in our group, if I may say so. I get really deep into my roles, you know? I don't just talk like the character. I think like him. I become him. It's the only way to... Matt, are you okay?
I think you just have to be good at copying things to be an actor.
That wasn't bad. Disturbing, but not bad. The Baroness in the second compartment over there is missing her purse. Do you have any idea where it could be?
Do I ever?
Hmm?
That guy over there with the violin case?
What about him?
He picked up something in Zurich and put it in his violin case.
Really?
Yeah, and he made sure that nobody saw him.
You saw him?
Uh-huh.
Did you also see what it was?
Nah, not really. But now that I think of it, it must have been the Baroness's purse.
I should look into it, shouldn't I?
I think so.
Tell me, have you seen the steward anywhere?
Nope. He was walking around a little while ago, though.
Hopefully they didn't forget him in Zurich.
What's he supposed to do?
I'm looking for a key to open a compartment door.
Did you check his things behind the counter?
I'm sure the drawers will be locked.
Can't you break it open? Or pick the lock like the Raven?
Perhaps. But I'd need a piece of wire or something like that.
Ask my mom. She has a lot of hairpins. She doesn't like the wind messing up her hair.
Thanks for the tip. Tell me, how long has your mother been working for the lady?
2 years.
And your father? What does he do?
He stayed home. I used to go fishing with him. And hunting. He even let me shoot a real gun.
And then?
Then Mom fought with him. And he left. I was 7.
So long.
So longer.
Вот так вот. Давайте с этим
Excuse me, sir.
поговорим. Подозрительным типом.
A passenger is missing her purse. Perhaps it was stolen.
Really?
Someone saw you with your violin case on the platform in Zurich.
What's the meaning of this? I didn't steal anything.
Nobody said you did. I just wanted to ask you whether you might have noticed anything on the platform.
Well...
Why did you think I was accusing you?
Well, I thought... because you mentioned my violin case in the context of the purse.
Apropos, may I have a look at your violin? It must be a very extraordinary piece.
Oh, that's not possible. It's a genuine Guarneri.
Very valuable.
Very. And also very sensitive.
What could harm it here? Light? Air? May I ask you to open the violin case?
No, you may not. I'm not guilty of anything.
I'm afraid I have to insist.
Then I'm afraid you need a warrant. I will not stand back and let you rifle through my belongings.
Вот эти.
Thank you.
Так, идем дальше за заколкой.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes?
Please excuse my unusual request, but Matt said you have some hairpins. Could I borrow one?
One of my hairpins?
It's a long story. It would be a big help.
Well, if you really need one.
Go ahead, Mary. The constable won't do it any harm. Will you, Mr. Zellner?
Of course not, madam.
Is this one okay?
It'll do nicely, madam. How very kind of you. Goodbye, Mrs. Miller.
Goodbye, Constable.
I need a bit of wire or something like that to pick the lock. I need a bit of wire or something like that to pick the lock. And suddenly, it's me who's the thief on the train. Oops, that was easier than expected. Batteries, a toothbrush, shaving brush, but not the key to the compartment door. Just this one. Too small for the door, but it might still be useful.
Шли дальше. Помню, что вот там был.
The box is secured with a padlock. I won't be able to open it without a key. That's it. There we go. This should help.
И все. Пойдем дальше. Давай поговорим с этим, может он что-то видел.
Hello, Dr. Gebhardt.
Ah, Mr. Zellner.
Прям очень много диалогов тут.
I meant to ask, the Baroness is missing her purse.
A baroness? This train is really full of the creme de la creme. The queen of crime is over there, and now a baroness as well.
Have you seen the purse?
Unfortunately, no. Do you know Lady Westmacott? You were talking to her?
Well, I'm an admirer of her work.
Like so many others. I once read in the newspaper that only Shakespeare and the Bible sell more copies than her crime novels.
I read that too.
She must be filthy rich. As a doctor, I'd have to work 1,000 years to earn that kind of money.
Your newspaper caught my eye. May I borrow it for a second?
You can take the section with the article on the burglary. You're interested in that bit, aren't you?
You caught me out.
Here you go.
Dankeschön. Auf Wiedersehen, Dr. Gebhardt.
Goodbye, Constable. It was a pleasant chat, really.
На самом деле, несмотря на внешность такая подозрительная, он выглядит довольно-таки прикольным чуваком. Давайте, наверное, попробуем вскрыть. Не знаю, может... Можно заколку будет вскрыть дверь.
You can easily lock the compartment door from inside by turning a little knob.
But I didn't lock it.
Professor, if you had locked the door from in there, you wouldn't be out here.
That's true.
Логично. Может, вот так можно?
I bet I could really get a grip on the bolt with these.
Well, come on then, hurry up.
Очень странно, как он вскрыл.
Hello?
I barely left the window ajar.
Nothing to see.
Нормально. Кепку потерял.
Ah.
Are you okay?
Yes. Fine.
А полицмен-то... Точнее, не полицмен, а...
Do you have any idea why the door was locked?
I don't know. Maybe the constant vibrations caused the lock to lock itself.
You can't possibly believe that.
Well, then what's your theory?
The conductor could have locked it from the outside. On the other hand, it could have been someone here in the compartment who locked the door from the inside.
Who? And where have they gone?
They could have climbed out there.
Who would be that insane?
You tell me, Professor.
Пацаненок видел, что кто-то за окном у него пробежал. Точнее, прополз.
So, what are you hiding in your bag? What do you have that would be worth stealing?
No, nothing.
No valuables?
Certainly not. Not on my salary.
It was enough for a first-class compartment on a luxury train.
That's my business.
You're playing a dangerous game, Professor Lucien. I'd like to look around a bit.
Of course.
I really wonder what the professor is hiding from me. But I can't just rifle through the luggage of innocent citizens. This is the 60s. Wow. You have a very nice fountain pen. Pricey.
If you'd managed to decode hieroglyphics that boggled the best minds of the last 3,000 years, you'd have received a gift like that as well.
Это у него нервный прям.
The Bible, Grimm's fairy tales, Moby Dick, and gin, whiskey, and rum. All classics. No, nothing interesting.
Давайте еще раз окно посмотрим, не знаю.
Assuming there really was someone in the compartment, and he climbed out the window, where's he gone? Goodbye, Professor.
Goodbye.
The Baroness seems to have... I better not bother her until I find it.
Просто думал, что кошелек, который у меня есть, это вдруг он случайно нашел, но нет.
Pardon me, sir.
We could have used you a few minutes ago. Mrs. Miller?
Yes?
Thank you for your hairpin, Mrs. Miller. It really got me out of a jam.
Oh, really? That's good to hear. And thank you for bringing it back to me. Not everybody would have.
I'm a Swiss policeman, madam. I couldn't do otherwise even if I tried. Goodbye, Mrs. Miller.
Goodbye, Constable.
Ну вот.
Excuse me, Lady Westmacott.
Constable Zellner, how can I help you?
Are you traveling to Istanbul, Lady Westmacott?
No, we are on our way to Venice. From there, we will take a ship to Cairo. As you may know, I have a penchant for archaeology. I fund a few excavations in Egypt. I traveled to Egypt by ship as a young woman. And now I'm doing it again as an old woman.
I see. As a writer, you must be very observant. Am I right? I mean, you have to study the behavior of people around you to create the characters in your novels, don't you?
I solved the mystery of human nature a long time ago, Mr. Zellner. Since then, most people just bore me.
Really? I had the impression you were eyeing me suspiciously as I came in.
What do you want to know, Constable?
Did you notice the man who just walked into the next carriage with a cup of tea?
I did. He seemed nervous. He was waiting at the bar for the steward, and since the steward never appeared, he elected to help himself. He took 2 biscuits.
He seems pretty young, but he's already a professor at the British Museum.
Interesting. I'll have to talk to him later. Just out of courtesy, of course.
Of course. Did you notice the blonde man with the violin case?
I certainly did. He introduced himself and tried to make a good impression. People like him are drawn to wealth and fame, like moths to a flame.
But his charms failed on you.
I know him by name. David Kreutzer. He was a drain on my friend's purse.
Do you think he has a money problem?
People like him always have a money problem. No matter how much you give them, they always spend twice as much and complain that they have far too little.
I was wondering if you might...
Sign your book, Constable Zellner?
If it isn't too much of an inconvenience.
Of course it's an inconvenience, but only a small one.
Пока
You are
что
welcome.
Thank you so very much.
положительное впечатление, только вот это бабулька произвела.
Coming back to the other
Russia.
passengers again, did you notice anyone else? What about the doctor or the Baroness?
I notice that you've asked me about everyone, except for the inspector who went in the direction of the freight car a few minutes ago. Isn't that the Frenchman who made his name when he caught the Raven?
I wouldn't quite say caught.
Well, shot. Why don't you ask me about him and my theory about what he's doing here?
I don't think we should discuss Inspector Legrand's investigation in public.
Legrand, right. That was his name. Will he save the day again? Or will you, Constable?
Another time. Farewell, Lady Westmacott.
Constable?
Конечно же, я всех спасу. Интересно, куда опять стюарт смылся.
This is the first car. The coal tender should be direct.
Очень интересно его найти было.
The violinist is uncooperative. I'm not authorized to search his belongings against it. I have to come.
А, точно, можно попробовать сходить, спросить у...
The Baroness seems to have... I better not bother her. The Baroness seems... I better not
Да,
bother...
нельзя даже зайти постучаться. Хотя, как бы, можно было бы спросить. Про этого скрипача? Ну да ладно. Этого опять нет. Наверх не вывести нельзя, да?
Inspector Legrand?
Anything to report?
I got Professor Lucien into his compartment using a pair of pliers.
Did you notice anything inside the compartment?
The window was open. Someone could have climbed out.
And the professor?
Acted suspiciously. He rummaged around in his leather bag.
And?
He seemed to have found what he was searching for.
Good. Good work.
Now, perhaps you could give me some information.
Ой, что-то интересно.
All right. We should...
What? The light's gone out.
Flashlights! Ah, get off me!
There, sir. An envelope.
My dear Nico, you should take a closer look at the box. R.
What the dickens?
Пока что все похоже на то, что это ворон.
Take cover!
Если вы не знаете, что делать, поговорите со всеми персонажами. Ну хорошо, будем знать.
Is everyone all right? Are you hurt? Quick thinking. Well done, Zellner.
I think the tunnel collapsed.
Then he's trapped. Hurry, we have to lock the second exit.
Sir, there's a fire up ahead. The engine's burning.
It's a distraction. Hurry, block the exit.
But, sir...
The fire will consume all the oxygen.
He's right, Inspector. A fire in a narrow tunnel is extremely dangerous.
Merde. Go to the front of the train, find the engineer, and tell him to move the train out of the tunnel.
Yes, sir.
Are you ready? You have to uncouple the freight car. You understand?
I understand.
I'll see to the passengers. They should all wait in the tunnel. We'll check each one in turn as they go out.
Let's get to it.
Ну, за дело. Так, у этого есть фонарик, у меня нет ни хрена. Ничего не вижу.
I'm sure I could uncouple the car if I only had enough light to see what I'm doing.
Так, мне нужно как-то что-то придумать, чтобы я мог подсвечивать.
A lot was damaged by the sudden stop, but the bowl was thick enough to survive the fall. Champagne, the finest. Maybe we'll open a bottle if we get out of the tunnel alive. Until then, though, it's no use to me. Whiskey, scotch, rum, liqueurs, enough to entertain everyone on the train all the way from Paris to Istanbul.
Возьмем бутылочку бухла.
High-proof rum. Could be useful.
Так, соответственно, мне нужна...
My God, what a fire. I hope Constable Oliver can at least reach the engine.
Какая-то тряпочка еще.
The last of the candy has vanished. Measured against the exploding freight car, I think the railway will open.
Oh, pardon me. I did not mean to scare you.
What are you doing here, Doctor?
Legrand asked me to check whether there are any passengers left on the train.
Really? No one is here, except for me and you.
Excellent. Then I will continue searching at the front.
How are the passengers?
They are in a state of shock, of course. The blackout and the sudden stop were frightening enough, but then the explosion, the dust, everyone rushed for the exits. I was helping the American woman bring Lady Westmacott to safety. They are waiting outside in the tunnel. One entrance is blocked by a fire, and the other one seems to have collapsed.
Did anyone act suspiciously before the explosion? Did anyone leave their seat, for example?
I was the only one on the train who wasn't seated when the freight car exploded. Thank God. Otherwise, I would have been caught by the blast as well.
You certainly were lucky.
Perhaps I was. What happened over there? The inspector said something about gas canisters that exploded.
The investigations are ongoing, but first we have to get the burning train out of the tunnel.
Oh, of course.
Continue to search the train. I'll decouple the buried freight car.
All right.
Doctor? Can you give me a few matches?
Oh, certainly.
Thanks. I'll meet you outside.
Do hurry.
Занавесочку возьмем.
The chair either fell over thanks to the sudden stop, or an escaping passenger knocked it over. Wanting to get off the train as quickly as possible after a sudden stop and a massive tremor, that's understandable. I noticed the extinguisher earlier. Doesn't match the decor. I suppose that the railway company had to comply with safety regulations at the cost of aesthetics. Rum from Austria. Believe it. I filled the bowl about a third of the way with rum. Phew, strong stuff. I filled the... Phew, strong stuff. That should do it. Can't really say the fabric was eager to soak up the rum. I, on the other hand, soaked up enough in my fingers.
Пошли наружу.
Okay, I'll smear some grease. I can feel cold metal and a screw thread, but I can't do more without light.
Так сложно.
There's a noticeable draft here. Maybe it's because of the fire, or perhaps there's still a hole through which the air is coming. The latter will be quite welcome. It will buy us some more time. I can feel cold metal and but I can't. I can feel cold, but I can't.
Пошли опять наверх.
The tunnel may very well have collapsed. But something certainly crushed the real. I filled the bowl about a third of the way with rum. Phew, strong stuff.
Подожди, стул, наверное, мне надо взять. Чтоб факел сделать, ну, по идее.
It's not bothering me, I'll leave it there. The chair either fell over, wanting to get off the train. It'd be useless against the fire out there, and it's too common. At best, I can use it here. All right, let's go.
Ну, почему он не хочет брать?
This.
Вот это, конечно, управление чуть-чуть подбешивает.
I can feel cold, but I can't do more.
Логично же, что я хотел взять факел, но он почему-то не берется. Зачем ты спички тушишь? Алёша, блин.
I don't see Legrand or the constable, but I can make out the silhouettes of some of the passengers. They seem to be unscathed. All the same, the fire is getting bigger. I should concentrate on uncoupling the freight.
Не знаю, сколько у меня спичек там, как бы.
Oil and grease burn bright and hot, but they also require a hot flame.
То есть зажженная спичка? А, нет, все равно не работает.
Oil and grease burn bright and hot, but they also require a hot flame to combust. A normal match won't do the trick.
Ну тут прям вообще хитрый
Just
план.
as I expect.
Ну теперь можно идти наружу, по идее.
That's better now. A lever on a pressure sleeve running along a thread. Aha! I can uncouple it with this lever. Okay. Good. The coupling isn't under tension anymore. I should be able to uncouple it now.
Соединяй.
There we go. Time to get out of here.
Я прям спаситель.
Listen, everybody! Listen! Robert, what's the situation?
Yeah, I couldn't find the engineer, so I got in the driver's cab myself and released the brake.
All right. Good job. You too. Listen, please.
Matty! Where's Matt? Where's my son?
Relax, madame. I'm sure...
Help! Matty! No!
Хорошо, бегай. Прям шустренький такой, бодренький.
Matt, where are you? Oh.
А, мы с ним вообще поехали, да, дальше. А они остались там. Нормально. Норм движуха.
Hey, there you are. What were you thinking? Come out of there.
Is he gone?
Is who gone?
The man!
What man?
There was a man. He was coughing.
One of the passengers?
I think he came down from the roof.
What are you doing on the train anyway? Why didn't you wait in the tunnel with the other passengers?
I wanted to get my pistol.
Your pistol?
If there's so many cops and thieves and explosions and everything, then I need a pistol too.
Makes sense. All right. First, I'll stop the train, and then we'll have a chat, okay? You want to come out? Good idea. You stay put.
Так, мне нужно теперь восстановить.
I can't get in. I presume the Baroness's luggage toppled over and is blocking the door.
Можно обыскать там, если есть что.
Professor Lucien's suitcase. Unlike the leather bag, he left it behind when he fled the train with the other passengers. I don't think there's anything interesting in it. Whatever the professor is hiding... The situation isn't that desperate.
Нельзя так нельзя.
The tanks don't seem to be damaged. The water is still running. A large, soft towel. Very comfortable.
Жаль, что тут нельзя вещи брать, потому что, скорее всего, это все не пригодится. Точнее, нельзя их брать сразу.
Hardly see out of the window because of the smoke. I don't know how much coal is burning on the tender up there, but it must be tons. I can't do anything about the fire. Damn, that makes things extremely complicated. How can I stop the train?
Вот топор мне пригодится, я чувствую.
An axe is for emergencies. If this isn't an emergency, I don't know what is. If the emergency brake doesn't work, I'll have to try... Here goes. Ouch! Hot! The handle is already too hot to...
Слишком горячее, надо полотенце.
I'll wrap it around my neck to keep my hands free.
А намочить ты его не хочешь? Ну, например.
It's soaking up the cold water.
Интересно то, что висело белое полотенце, но вокруг шею повернул, и оно стало серое.
The handle is already too hot to touch. Locked.
Логично, топориком.
The handle is already too hot to touch. The handle is already too... The handle is already too hot to touch.
Подожди, а если я попробую зайти с улицы? Нет? Казалось бы, примитивная такая игрушка. Не особо сложная.
Jumping off is not an option. We're going much...
А не все так просто.
Jumping off is not an option.
Может быть, можно будет в окно вылезти у профессора. Нету профессора, нельзя вылезти.
The handle is already too hot to... Locked. The handle is already too hot to... The handle is already...
Дядь, ты меня разочаровываешь.
Locked. The handle is already too hot to touch. Okay, we'll do it the hard way.
Давай, Антон, мы в тебя верим. Ну. Так, мне это не нравится. Да зачем ты взял?
Hell could hardly be worse. Ah, the coupling. It looks just like the one on the freight car. That means at first I have to turn that thing there. It's not working. Even if I could reach the lever with my hands, I wouldn't have the strength to move it. Not a chance. Even if I could reach the lever with my hands, I wouldn't have the strength.
Интересно, какие идеи дальше.
Not a chance. Even if I could reach the lever with my hands, I wouldn't have the strength to move it.
A steam locomotive is controlled chaos. Fire, hot steam. A runaway steam locomotive is a bomb.
Что-то мне не полегчало от этих слов. Окей, пошли дальше.
Matt saw something. It could prove to be very useful, but if I don't stop the train soon, I won't be able to... Matt hasn't grasped the gravity of the situation yet, which is good, as I can't take care of him and the train. The emergency brake either was damaged in the explosion or was sabotaged, but whatever, it's not working. I think I should try to uncouple the locomotive. I mean, how else can I stop the train?
По-любому придется вылазить.
The engine and the coal tender are burning stronger and harder. The airflow is feeding the flames. I have to decouple the wagons immediately. Sooner or later, the engine will be blown apart. Jumping off is not an option. We're going much too fast. Jumping off is not an option.
Очень странно, что больше нет никаких ходов. Да и вроде брать уже нечего больше. Огнетушитель бы мне пригодился, наверное. Совсем, конечно, логично по управлению.
That should do the trick. The coupling won't release because it's under too much tension. The engine is pulling the cars and its full force is acting on the coupling. It's just a hook, but it won't budge like that. The engine is pulling the cars and its full force is acting on the coupling. It's just a hook, but it won't budge like that.
Так, я так понимаю, мы все сделали, да? Сейчас отцепится.
That's not just smoke. I can actually taste lumps of ash. It's time for my deputy sheriff's story. I uncoupled the locomotive at full speed. Not bad, eh?
Do you think we'll get in trouble?
Because of the locomotive? I don't think so. It was pretty old already. Come out so we can have a chat. I checked the entire train. There's no one on it except for us. What an adventure.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me, what did you see on the train?
Well, it was like this. I wanted to get my pistol.
Нормально, не зассал, полез за своим пистолетом. Это этот проводник, который был в начале, наверное. Хотя, судя по перчаткам, он еще похож на доктора, может быть.
Achoo!
And then?
When the guy was gone, I got up and banged on the window. I wanted to get out of there, but then I thought, what if the guy can hear me from the next car? So I got scared, and I hid again.
You did well. Are you sure it was a man?
Yeah, very sure. What else could he be?
A woman?
No. Girls can't be thieves. Girls are always honest.
If only you knew.
Как ты ошибаешься, малой?
The envelope that the man lost, where is it?
I thought it might be important.
I think we should have a look. Some cash, an Italian passport, blank. Very interesting. And here, a ticket for
the cruise!
What?
The tickets we have for the big ship from Venice to Cairo look exactly the same.
Interesting. May I keep it?
What do you want to do with it?
Take a vacation.
It's evidence.
And my chance to go with you.
The ticket and everything else in the envelope are part of my investigation. And you have no part to play in Cairo.
If I hadn't given you the envelope, you'd have no proof that the Raven's heir would be on the ship.
Ugh. The ship is his next chance to steal the eye. And he won't give up until he has it.
And that's precisely why you should let me come along.
No.
Какой упертый.
What else did you find out in the tunnel?
Not much. After we came out of the tunnel, Robert and I questioned the passengers.
Which didn't turn up anything new.
No. The engineer and the fireman were missing. They were found a few kilometers back on the track. Both claimed to have been overwhelmed by a shadow and thrown off the train.
But you don't believe that.
I'm checking their stories. One of them may have been paid to eliminate the other one.
How could the Raven's heir have found out about the trap? How was he able to put the dynamite in the box and place the letter?
The dynamite was probably already in the box when I put it in the safe. I didn't check it.
You had no reason to do so.
It wasn't my only mistake. I knew someone was on the roof of the freight car, but I let myself be distracted by that damned letter.
How did you know?
Too late. I should have reacted instantly.
And what about the ship? I have earned the right to join you.
What you did was extraordinary. Far more than anyone could have a right to expect from you.
And you still want to leave me behind?
You met our foe and barely escaped with your life. You may not be that lucky next time.
It wasn't luck.
You can return to Switzerland with your head held high. Enjoy your triumph.
I have not achieved anything yet. The fiend tried to kill us, and he's still at large.
Кстати, похож по силуэту на этого
We're here.
детектива. Перчатки добавить, и костюм похожий даже был.
Inspector Legrand, an urgent telegram from Paris.
Судя по всему, мы на этом будем заканчивать, наверное, на этот раз.
Bad news?
It's about the unfortunate events on the train. I'm to return to Paris and explain myself.
But sir, what about the eye?
They want to inform the Egyptian authorities that there might be a burglary attempt.
Might?
Egyptian authorities? What if the jewel is stolen at sea?
I know. I never received it. Keep a close watch on the loading of the eye, Robert.
Aye, sir. It was a pleasure meeting you, Constable Zellner.
What is the constable's problem with me?
I think he's jealous. Scotland Yard assigned him to assist me, just as you were sent by the Swiss authorities.
With the distinction that he may go to Egypt.
Robert is to accompany me at all times. Your mission was restricted to Switzerland.
At this moment, I want to be sent back to Switzerland just as much as you want to be sent back to Paris.
I know, but I'm walking on thin ice, and I can't carry you too.
And the second eye is in that safe?
Yes, an emerald. It's been kept in a bank in Zurich since the start of the war. I personally took it out of the bank vault, and Professor Lucien certified that it was the real thing.
And while a fake jewel was sent by train,
the real one was brought here in an armored car.
How is it protected?
You can only open the safe if you have 3 special keys. Professor Lucien has one, and Baroness von Trebitz, who's paying for all this, has the second. The third was sent by air courier to Dr. Abbas Mokhtar, the director of the Egyptian Museum in Cairo.
So, not even you could possibly open the safe before it arrives in Egypt.
That's correct. We don't want to make it too easy for potential thieves.
Commendable. I hope you're aware of the fact that you're risking your career.
Indeed I am.
Why do you care so much about this case? Someone pretends to be the Raven, and you promptly risk your career?
What if he's not just pretending?
What do you mean by that?
It's his handwriting. And there's only one person who ever called me Nico. Have you ever considered the possibility that I shot the wrong man?
But what do you mean by that?
Let us assume just for a moment that the person I shot and who fell from the roof was not the Raven. Who would have cared enough to uncover the truth? The chief of police, the politicians? No. They wanted to revel in a successful manhunt, and it was the best thing that could have happened to the Raven. The search for him was over. He had no reason to fear me anymore. I had so many medals afterwards that he could hear them jingling kilometers away.
And now he's back? And you're the only one who can stop him? Does that sound probable to you?
The feathers, the letters. Nico. No one outside the police force knew that the Raven used to call me that in his letters.
Policemen gossip, and there are plenty of forgers. You can't seriously intend to stake your reputation on such weak evidence.
My reputation rests on something that I probably did not do. I have to find out who's behind all this.
Let's review. One of the 2 most valuable jewels in the world was stolen. Obviously, the second one will be next. And you suspect a legendary burglar who's been dead for 5 years.
Go on.
The second jewel is about to be put on board over there, in a safe that requires 3 keys. Our thief may already have the first key, the archaeologist's key, from the train. We don't know anything about the status of the second key. which was meant to be air freighted to Cairo.
We have to assume that he already has it.
Therefore, there's just one key left. The Baroness's.
Correct.
So, you'll need my eyes on board.
Look, you can keep your eyes open for me here on the wharf. I'd be most grateful. But when this ship sets sail, you will not, I repeat, not be on board.
But, Inspector...
We're dealing with a dangerous man, and I will pursue him regardless of the consequences. I won't let you get mixed up in this affair.
It's still my decision.
No, it's not. It's mine, and I've already made it. Good day, Constable Zellner.
Какой упрямый, слушай. Прям... Блин, такой сюжет классный. Мне прям очень понравился. Такие загадки, прям интрига. Надеюсь, что это как-то не рассыпется все и не будет примитивно дальше. Ну что, в общем-то, на этом можно и закончить, наверное, для начала. Прошли часть с поездом. И на этом будем заканчивать. А уже со следующего раза мы начнем с этого же места. И попробуем попасть на корабль, судя по всему. Нам надо это как-то будет сделать. С помощью вот этих вот 3 человек. Ну и, собственно, будем пытаться. Спасибо всем, кто смотрел. Если понравилось вам, ставьте лайки, конечно же. Подписывайтесь на канал. Не нравится, ставьте дизлайки. Также можете писать в комментариях что-нибудь по этому поводу. Что вы думаете? Кто здесь будет все-таки Ворон? Может быть, мы его уже встречали? Это кто-то из главных героев, которые были в поезде. Пишите свои версии, также пишите, нравится вам или не нравится игра.
In my younger years, I might have considered abseiling from the crane down to the ship, but those days are long past.
Ну и, собственно, на этом все. Спасибо всем, кто посмотрит видео. Надеюсь, вам понравится. До скорого. Жду вас на продолжение.